What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Casually FC and welcome to another installment of the match reaction to yesterday's game of Chelsea 1, Borussia Dortmund 1. Before we go ahead and do the quick summary, you guys already know I'm accompanied here by my panel of Ahmed, Real Chris, and myself, Marshalldbdx. And before we start the show, be sure to do the admin stuff. You guys already know. Be sure to like and subscribe the video because all that stuff helps us out in growing and on our way to 3K. I almost said 2K, so used to saying 2K. On our way to 3K subscribers, so help us grow the channel. Be sure to also check out the links in the description to everyone's content channels and all that fun stuff, extra bonus content, extra bonus stuff down there in the links in the description. Be sure to leave a comment, let us know your thoughts on anything we spoke about in today's show, and also be sure to check out the memberships because we have 4 different memberships starting at 99p. So if you guys want to be a member, get to use some of the fun emojis and also get to reap the benefits of some of these other tiers, be sure to check out the memberships as it does help out the channel as well as super chats and all that. But I feel like you get more of a bang for your buck when you do the membership. So go ahead and check that out as well, as it's directly helping the channel grow. But guys, let's go ahead and let me do a quick summary of the game yesterday in Chicago, Chelsea and Dortmund, which both teams looking like they put up a pretty strong lineup. I would say Chelsea for sure. That lineup looking like the lineup that might be the one that starts off our season in next Sunday, not this Sunday, against Liverpool. And we went the whole game pretty much toe-to-toe with Dortmund. We had the better chances. We weren't clinical enough when we had our opportunities. And unfortunately, as the saying goes, if in football, if you don't score the goals, someone will score them against you. At least that's something that I learned growing up that was said in South American saying, I guess. And it's true. So we conceded a goal. Not a long shot, a deflected shot that lands in front of Wolf and puts it behind Kepa, who maybe a better keeper would have saved it. We can discuss that later on in the show. And unfortunately, we concede the first goal. And later on in the game, close to the end of the game, the substitution, Mason Burstow, comes on and scores us the equalizer, leaving the game 1-1 against Dortmund. Overall thoughts on the game for me, I'll just go quickly into the overall thoughts and we'll go to the rest of you guys, and big up everyone in the chat, by the way. I'll go ahead and say this. If this is the lineup going into Liverpool, I am pretty content, minus a few things that I would change. Although Gallagher had a okay, good game, some people will say, I still don't think he's going to be the guy to start. I think it should be Santos. I feel like with Santos, you get more consistency because our midfield wasn't really there. Enzo has not been Enzo. We were seeing more of those over the top through balls from the defensive side, Silva and Colwell, than we were seeing it from Enzo, which is what I'm used to seeing. But I think let's put Enzo with Santos. I think Carney overall, second half definitely woke up, was much more impactful. First half, a little quiet. We did have an injury scare, which, by the way, I am going to address this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher NKUNKU came off around in the first half due to a collision he had with one of the Dortmund players. We don't know the extent of the injury. It seems like he's going to be okay. But here we have the tweet from Absolute Chelsea from Scott Trotter. So Mauricio, Nazar Cancela down here. Mauricio Pochettino and Christopher NKUNKU, the doctors are checking him, and I hope that's not a big issue. He fell in the action, and he feels something in knee, but he hopes it's nothing big, and he can come back quickly. We need a few days to assess. And then following here, it's not about complaining, but always we take some risks because the pitch is not perfect. That's sometimes the risk of the tour. I think it's an unlucky situation. We cannot complain about the pitch and why he suffered the injury. And it seems likely that it might be something fine because he was seen walking around the pitch in casual clothing afterwards. So probably just a knock or, a feeling he had in the knee, just being careful. We don't want to, overextend our players. That being said, Mudryk looked electric in the game. He was being very direct. He was creating chances. I believe he was the one that helped create that chance for, was it a corner or I think it was a corner. I'm pretty sure that Burstow ended up scoring from. So he was involved. Sterling, I have a lot of questions about. I don't think he should be the starter going into the season. And he might have to work his way into the team because he just doesn't look like he's a part. I just don't think he knows what Poch is trying to do, and he's not being cooperative or inclined to fall into the tactics to benefit the team. Gives me a lot of this hero complex. Wants to do everything on his own. He lost the ball so many times. It was too frustrating. But those are my overall general points. I think we need to definitely get ourselves a Caicedo or a solid defensive midfielder to support Enzo, and we need to see what happens with Sterling. I don't think Sterling makes the starting lineup. I don't think he should, but I have a feeling he will. But Chris, we'll start off with you, man. What are your overall thoughts on the game, man?
I thought the game was okay. I would say pretty dead though, because I almost fell asleep near the end because the second half was a bit better though, I thought. But I felt like we was having nice patterns of play. I did see a few times like nice short passes like in triangles, moving it forward and stuff like that. But nothing really much coming off the end of like those passes. Like we didn't really do much. They shut us out pretty quickly. We did create a few more chances, and Dortmund, I will say, I don't think Dortmund created many chances like in that game. We had a few shots. Jackson had a couple of good chances, but he wasn't, like you said, clinical to it. I remember the first chance where he tried volleying it, like it's like in the air, and I understand why it didn't go in because the way he was like at an angle, and he's kind of like off balance, so he's got like kind of hit it a little bit higher. So I do understand. And then, but the other chance was where Sterling did give a beautiful ball to him, where I don't think any of you to go credit Sterling at all, because he did lose the ball a few times. Sterling gave him a beautiful ball to like basically maybe shoot it, but he didn't. He passed it to, I don't know who he passed it to. I forgot who he passed it to, but he passed it and it didn't. I think it became a corner after that. Sterling, I thought he's okay. Frustrating at times. I like you say he lost the ball a few times. But he did a few good things. He pulled off a good shot at one point. He didn't do a whole lot, I would say. Chukwuemeka, I didn't really notice him until the second half. Like you said, I thought he was a ghost in the first half. Actually, I just didn't see him. Could have been my lazy eyes or something. Just didn't see him. Like you said, Gallagher. I thought Gallagher was doing a lot of dog work, as people call him a dog. Like he's just running around trying to tackle and stuff. Like he was okay. Enzo was okay. He did actually get assist in that game, I'm pretty sure, to whoever that guy was. I thought
Borussia.
I thought it was Colwell because I swear it said Colwell when it said scored. I thought, Colwell finally scored. Because I'm pretty sure Colwell had a few chances in that game. A couple from a corner anyway. Defensively, I actually thought we were solid. Like, they didn't really do much. Like, Silva, Colwell, Gusto, even Reece James, like both of them. Chilwell was okay, except for one moment where they ran through him basically, and they crossed it in. I thought he should have closed him down a lot quicker, but Thiago Silva cleared it, so it didn't really matter. They did get a lucky goal as well. I thought it was a bit of a jammy goal, but we did fought back and got a goal back. Yeah, like we did fought back and get a goal back and make it 1-1, and we're unbeaten this preseason. I can't really ask too much more, to be honest. It was a dead game though.
I will say though, it's like a little bit of a twisted positive. I guess you can say one of the positives is that we didn't win and we almost lost. And I say that because it almost humbled us a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like it made us realize that there are still deficiencies in this team, and we're not going to be able to get away with it. I think there is a monicum of the Chelsea fan base that, really was going into the season thinking like, we're going to challenge for the Premier League. We're going to get top 4 and all this is guaranteed. And I'm sure some of us still hold that opinion. But I think until this team is done, until there's a Caicedo through that door and we see how he plays with the team, until we get like I'm not gonna say a proper striker. I'm tempted to say that. I think Jackson can be that guy. We still have to see how he goes. Like we need to see what Jackson's dip in form looks like as well. Because if he's in good form right now, there is going to be a moment where he's going to dip in form. It would be nice to see what that looks like as well, and how that could turn out. Then obviously we'll talk about Sanchez on Sunday and all the keeper stuff, but like getting a world-class keeper is something we are missing, and I think that is something that's going to hinder us in the long run. I still like this shows that like this team is not yet complete, and there is still holes in our game, and we saw that last night. And Ahmed, before we go ahead and go to you with your reaction to the game, I just want to pull up. I really hope this works, because this thing has been so finicky with me lately.
Can I quickly say about Jackson? Like, I think he looks like an all-round. You talk about striker. He looks like an all-round striker because he can dribble, he's got pace, he can pass it, he can link up. And
his pace has been very impressive.
Yeah, he's very quick. He looks like an all-round striker. He can do a lot of things. That's what I like about Jackson. So, if he, I know all strikers and all players have dipping, but like if he does that like more of a consistent basis, like that type of style of play, and gets us goals and links up well and stuff, like does all those, like it's fine. Like looks like an all-round striker to me. He can do a lot of it.
So this is our goal on the 89th minute. Mudryk free kick goes over to Dortmund defender, who fails to clear it, and then Enzo heads it back in for BURSTOW. Pretty much that was the goal. Yeah, there you go. And you know what, I gotta give credit. It was a good goal from BURSTOW. It's a very well placed header, like a header. He was facing the other direction and managed to head it back into the goal in good placement. Like I gotta give him credit, and kudos to him, man. Kudos to him. Like he definitely deserved the goal. He did play. He did start the game. There was the last game, I believe, against Newcastle, where we didn't actually get to see. Not Newcastle. I'm sorry. It was Newcastle, right? Yeah. No. Fulham. I'm sorry. Yeah, Fulham. Yeah, it was against Fulham. Actually. I'm sorry. The black and white stripes got me confused. Fulham. Yeah. And so he had. I didn't see much of him. You could tell, like, he's definitely gonna go out on loan, right? You could tell he's still got to develop as a striker. But good for him to show up for the team last minute, get a well-placed header, get a well-placed goal. Good for him. I think he deserves it. And I hope that gives him the motivation to like really aspire for a lot more going forward on that loan and everything. Ahmed, talk to me, brother.
Okay. So I've not heard anyone, and I mean anyone. I'm pretty sure even that said we're going to be competing for the league. I'm pretty sure no one's going to say that with the squad that you have currently. So
there are people though.
There's a couple crazies. Like
listen, there's always crazies in it, but there's not. But it's not. But like, I think
it's our fan base. There's plenty of crazies. There's one in our chat right now.
I'm pretty sure, but I think the majority of them is that actually him. By the way, just quickly.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, but unironically though, I've always maintained, I will still maintain, technically the target for this team is and will be top 4, whether we like it or not. Whether or not we can finish that top 4 is another question, right? Indeed, but the target for this team will probably be top 4 and get a cup in the Premier and get a cup in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. I'm pretty sure all of us here would agree to that, right? That is the aim of this team. Before I even get into what we've seen today, so we'll start off with the striking options. I think Jackson had a good game again. Yes, he may have missed the first chance, but again, that was almost like a reflex shot that he missed, which was the first one. If we're trying to be honest, the second one, like the one where he was essentially 1v1, the way the ball dropped is not the way. It's not a normal reaction. It's not a normal reaction to the ball, right? So, because if you saw the way the ball went, the ball which bounced back to him like this.
The pitch was not good. Yeah, for sure the pitch was not good.
Usually when the ball gets hit over the top of you, the ball is meant to continue forward, not return back to you like it's like we've done some backspin on literally table tennis. If you play table tennis, right?
Yeah,
so really, you can't even be really even for that one. It's a bit more unironic to blame. The third chance where he passed to Chukwuemeka, again. you can only blame the pitch for that. Again, honestly, that pitch was cooked. So I think from a striker's option, I think it's a bit unfair to be judging Jackson on that. But I think Jackson, again, a very good performance. And at the end of the day, we don't need our striker to always score. I think that's what some people realize. Yeah, yes, we need him to get 15 goals, right? But we also need to realize our striker also needs to have good close control, can be able to hold up the ball, can he pass the ball, can he get an assist, and that's what we need him to be. And I think Jackson has proven in preseason that he can do that. Now it's about trying to prove it in the Premier League and continue that form onwards.
I would like to say that despite not scoring a goal, I think Jackson had a good game yesterday.
But that's the thing. You don't need to have GNA to have a good game.
Exactly. I think with Jackson, and before you go on to the rest of your points, I think with Jackson, the thing that I like about his game yesterday is that he was involved. He was dangerous. And if they didn't have a decent keeper making decent saves and the pitch wasn't horrible, maybe Jackson scores those opportunities. He put himself in dangerous situations. He created dangerous chances. So, I mean, and listen, if Jackson was the one on the far post on both those corners that we had for Colwell, Jackson puts us away. Easy. So, listen, I think he had a good game as well. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Continue on.
So obviously, let's continue on from the strike force. Chukwuemeka, I genuinely think this wasn't his best game in my opinion, and I just think for me this game just shows you that Chukwuemeka cannot play the 10. And I've said this quite a few times now. He's not suited to the 10 role. He's just an 8. Like he really is an attacking 8 in my opinion. And like we saw in the last game against I believe it was Fulham, when he was playing the 8 position, he was a lot more explosive. Was carrying the ball extremely well as well. So, like, I think for me, it doesn't work in a 10 role, in my opinion. So, I think that we should start playing him in the 10. If now let's go on to the winger situation. Obviously, NKUNKU, he was looking a bit lively, of course, until obviously he had that little knee injury. From what we know, apparently it's not a serious injury. The club is quite optimistic on it, but they don't know if he's going to be available for Liverpool yet. So they're going to wait and see approach on that one.
That's our luck, isn't it?
Yeah. So moving on, you've then got obviously the situation with Mudryk and Sterling. Mudryk, I think, looked a lot more lively. Something I really like, something I spoke about in the previous game is that I want him to demand the ball more. I want you to demand the ball. I want you to say, give me, pass me the ball. And he did that a lot. I think something under Poch that we've also seen is that Poch has kind of made him, Poch has done a good job of trying to, teach him how to use his pace appropriately. Like, there was that time where he would slow down, speed up again, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, use your pace advantage with the dribbling that you have as well. And, he's clearly improving as a player. That's what I'll give him. Now, let's move on to my favorite player. Ironically, I've got his name on the back of my shirt, Raheem Sterling. And I'm going to be a real big man. We might need to start writing his name in the death note, bro, because it's looking like it's time to. It's looking like, man, it might be time, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be so real, bro. Like Benson Baini, who is the Algerian fullback for what's it called? Borussia Dortmund, had that guy under lock and key. He was doing what Gusto was doing to the other wingers we were seeing in preseason, bro. He had that guy locked up. He barely got past him. I think there's like a stat that I saw today, which is like he could not get past him at all. He couldn't get past any of his man at all. Like barring the one chance that he had, which was the 2v2 situation, which he made the right pass to Jackson, but Sterling barely did anything in the game, if we're being honest. And I've said this to you, Marshall, and you've disagreed with me a bit when I've said this guy is meant to be your experienced guy. He's technically meant to be one of the leaders of the line, because all of the other guys you're looking at, barring maybe an NKUNKU, are all 21s and 22 years old. This guy's meant to be leading by example, helping to create chances. Yes, he may not be getting the GNA that I'm trying to maybe say for him, but he's not even leading by example, bro. The other guys look like they're more hungry, look like they're actually playing better than him, and some of them look like they played more games than him. Like, you know what I'm saying? They played at a high level before him at times. And it's not looking, honestly, for me, for Sterling, bro, it's not looking good, bro. I'll be real. If you bring in, it's not looking good for this guy.
Why do you have this tendency to conflate the things that I say with like, because what you said there, I completely agree with you. The only things that we disagree on is that you want to sell him this summer. I want to wait.
Okay, well, listen, man, I want to sell him. I genuinely think, you might have to hit the sell button on him. a bit sooner than we expected, bro.
Man, you want to put him on a death note? You don't even want to sell him. You want
Listen,
listen.
I mean figuratively.
Train in a video game
When I say the death note, I mean figuratively, right? In the sense that when you write to it means it's over for them. Like, you close the book, it's over for them in that time. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's too much, too quickly at Ahmed, like deciding this quickly.
No, it's
like
but
last
it's not,
season
bro.
he
It's
was
not.
our best attacker last season.
Bro,
as
but
bad as
again,
our
last
attack
season,
was.
if you actually like have a comprehensive retroactive look at last season, there were similar things that were happening last season. Even though he was our best attacker, don't get me twisted, he had like good moments where he was actually showing that he was a good winger. There were also moments where he was still doing those things.
Yeah,
right?
he's a
but now it's become like, but now he's had consistent bad performances in a row.
I wouldn't call him bad. I've called him, if you want like average, like he didn't do a lot, but
what do you mean average, bro? If you're winger,
I thought he's okay. Like he did good chance he created to Jackson, and then
Chris, can I ask you a question, bro? This is an honest question, yeah. If your winger cannot get past your man, get past his man that he has to face, has he had a good job? Has he done an average job? Has he done a decent job?
I swear he got past a couple of Dortmund players.
No, he didn't.
No,
there's an actual stat. There was a stat that I literally read today.
Not many, but like he did get tackled a lot. I noticed, but I swear he got past a couple.
No,
he even pulled off that shot as well at one point.
Maybe once.
No, that shot was a stupid shot in my opinion. He could have squared it to Jackson. Remember that shot? Scott is probably contested, and you contested Marshall.
I never had that one shot last night.
In the first half, it was in the first half, bro. It was in the first half, and I got pissed off at him. So it was either the first or the second half. I got really pissed off at him because I was like, it was in the first half. I was pissed off at him because like all he had to do was square it to Jackson, who was literally free in the middle. Instead, he decided to do a shot which went way past the post that he was trying to even shoot at.
It was a good effort.
Oh my god! Listen, Chris, you're just trying to be contrary for contrary's sake.
No, I heard you two last night because I jumped on your stream last night. You two was complaining about. I even said that last night. So I thought he's okay, but
it's not okay, man. This is not the level you're expecting, in my opinion, from someone that's meant to be
for a world class player who's been world class. I thought like for the last few years, yes, he needs to be a lot better than that. But I wouldn't. You're saying throw him out like the team now, like sell that guy, like sell him to the Saudi League or something. I think it's way too harsh. Like.
No, I actually think. Listen, as a football club, you have to be proactive and not reactive. It's time to be proactive.
I think,
and that's what we did with Koulibaly. With Koulibaly, we were proactive because we realized, listen, we've got Levi Colwill here, and we need to move him on because he's not had a good season. But listen, let me just continue on quickly onto the midfield. Enzo, I think, had a lot of better game in my opinion, particularly in the final third. I thought he was doing a lot more work in the final third that I wanted to see from him. Those passing those balls around and everything. So I think in general, Enzo had a good game in my opinion. I think Gallagher as well was very good in terms of interceptions and everything. But the thing with the midfield was, and I said this in my stream as well with you, Marshall, was that it was either attack, defense. There was like a lack of control in the middle of the pitch, essentially, with both Gallagher and Enzo. And that's something we've seen as well last season. So we knew, and again, this is the point of that I make, which is Caicedo has to come in a lot. We have to get a deal done. If you're not going to go for him, you need to get someone else in that's going to be able to control, because there was no control in that middle of the pitch, in my opinion. Because don't get me wrong, Gallagher was doing a good level of interceptions in the game. But other than that, when he wasn't intercepting the ball, it was just the Borussia Dortmund were able to get from attack to defense with relative ease, in my opinion. And then, obviously, defensively, Thiago Silva had a decent game. What's his name? Levi Colwill had a decent game. Didn't have to do too much. Obviously, Reece James, I thought, had another good, solid game. And then, obviously, Gusto also had another solid game there. But, same shit, different day. The left side of the field was getting cooked. There was that chance which literally, remember, I predicted this would happen, where Chilwell would bomb up so far up the pitch that all it would take was a little over the ball thing to the left side of the winger, and bang, he would literally have all the space in the world to do a cross, and he literally just did that in game. And the thing with Chilwell defensively, man, is he's looking suspect, bro. And it's not looking good for that guy. And then Cucurella did like some crazy, I don't know how he did that mistake. Did you see that mistake? Like that he made?
The tackle where he tackled in the wrong direction.
It was so brazy. And he's just too rash, bro. That's the thing for me, man. Cucurella is too rash. So, and then there's Kepa.
Who would you prefer left back, by the way, Ahmed?
I honestly,
out
bro.
Out of them two.
The thing, what I said was, right. The thing with like it's like looking at two different cheeks of us. But the thing for me is like, if you make Chilwell basically be a bit more conservative, at the very least, tell him don't bomb up forward as much and try to be a bit more conservative when you run. So whenever Reece James bombs forward, you kind of stay back, and then whenever you're bombing forward, someone else stays back, and then Levi Cole can at least be a bit more positionally in that left hand side to be able to cover a bit more when Chilwell's not there, if you get what I mean. But that's the best thing I can think of, because otherwise it's cooked. But... Yeah, although there's also Maatsen available, but the thing for me, I'm not sure if
I haven't seen that guy play left back.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying to you. So it's not. I don't think that's happening. And then there's Kepa. Kepa's just Kepa, you know what I'm saying? There's literally no other way to put it. And I hate him even more now after some of the news I've read today. So listen, man, let's just move on from that. I don't know if there's anything you disagree with, guys. Just let me know, of course.
Well, I disagree with Sterling completely, but
so, yeah, we're gonna come right back to that. So let's talk about Sterling. Here's the thing. The reason I disagree with the idea of selling him now is because right now it seems like Sterling just doesn't really understand how to work in Poch's system. He doesn't look like he fits in Poch's system. He just seems a little lost. And I'll say this, like, I think Sterling is fully capable of dribbling past what was the defender? What was his name again, Ahmed?
Benson Bainey. They say the Algerian fullback. Yeah, they say the Algerian fullback. It's a bit easier.
Bainey. I think he's fully capable of dribbling past him. I think what was happening is that Sterling in this game, to be precise, Sterling in this game was trying to dribble past the whole team, and multiple times he would just get piled on by 2 or 3, sometimes even 5 defenders. Like, this man was like just trying to dribble past the whole team to the point where it was frustrating the fuck out of me. So yeah, if we were to look at his stats, and it sucks, I can't find stats anywhere because it's a friendly, but like, if we're looking at the stats, maybe he completed 1 or 2 dribbles, but he failed so many of them. He kept getting dispossessed. So this idea that, he was doing fine dribbling. No, he wasn't. He was not. Mudryk was, but not Sterling. Let me just land real quick. So that's that with...
Before you continue on.
Okay.
Raheem Sterling has failed to complete more than 1 successful take-on during every game this preseason for Chelsea. He has registered more unsuccessful take-ons, 5, and lost more duels, 9, than any other player for Chelsea against Dortmund.
Fake stats.
Anyways, yeah, so it's just not looking good for Sterling, and it just, again, he looks lost. He looks like he doesn't understand what the module, the tactic is. And it sucks too, because it almost feels like he knows he has this leadership role in this team, and he feels like he needs to put the team on his shoulders. Like, there were so many times, I said this yesterday on your watch along, it feels like he's playing hero ball. It feels like Mason Mount all over, where like Mason was just trying to do everything. And here we got Raheem Sterling trying to do everything. Bro, let go of the ball. You're not going to be able to dribble past 2, 3 defenders every time. Maybe once in a while you could try, and it's beautiful. But like, just keep it simple. This man was trying to do everything, and it was so frustrating. He almost never let go of the ball. And when he did, it was okay. Like, we saw some okay patterns of play, but again, also the wrong decisions at the wrong time. So it's just frustrating. But I think, and this is probably what's going to happen, he's probably going to start against Liverpool. I just know it in my bones. I feel like that starting lineup that starting attack is gonna be Jackson, Mudryk on the left, Sterling on the right. Even though I don't think Sterling deserves to be on that starting lineup, it should be Maatsen on the right. So but I think if Poch does the right thing, if he really believes in meritocracy, then I think you got to bench Sterling. You bench Sterling. You hope that he catches up with the rest of the team. You hope he catches on to the tactics and, develops and not develops, but I should say, like, becomes the player we know he could be. Then I hope that he proves us wrong, and then we don't have to react and sell him now. I know we saw Koulibaly early, but Koulibaly had gotten his spot overtaken by Cucurella. Koulibaly had lost his spot to Badiashile already. Sterling, he's still fighting for his spot. But this preseason, I would say, like, even Moreira's look better than him. And that's not to shit on Moreira, but Moreira is a youngster. You shouldn't have youngsters doing better than you unless they're like, Mbappe or something. You're supposed to be the experienced person. You're supposed to lead by example. So look, I'm frustrated with Sterling. He's a very polarizing character, as it is anyways, even when he wasn't Man City. But regardless, I'm willing to give him time. Scott, I would like to hear from you, because you've been here, you've been waiting. What do you think on this whole Sterling thing?
Well, I didn't watch the game just because I had work early. I couldn't. But what I will say is none of what has been said about Sterling or about other players, to be honest, that we'll probably get to surprises me, bar about 30 minutes, if we're being generous, against Brighton. He's basically been arsed the entire preseason. He's not the only one, I'll say that much. There are other players that have not played well either this preseason. Some of which are surprising, some of which are not. But yeah, like I said it before, I don't know if it was on a Casually stream or a Lewis stream, where like if you're going on off a meritocracy, right now he's literally bar Angelo and, well, maybe not even Angelo, bar Moreira, he's literally the bottom of the pecking list on a meritocracy.
Like, Moreira's even,
everyone else is above him. Like, everyone else is above him. Like, Mudryk above him, Maatsen above him, even NKUNKU out wide above him. I would say it as much. If you're basing, like, form and what you last saw of them, Madueke's above him, and he ain't even played in pre-season. And I'm still based on what I last saw of him, putting him above what I've seen from Sterling. Like, it's not good. It's really not good. And, like, it doesn't fill me with any confidence really going forward, because it's like, it's kind of basic stuff that he's failing at. It's not small stuff. It's like real basic stuff that he should be able to do as a winger, as an experienced winger at his level. And it's just worrying. And like, I'll be real though, with the Liverpool game, he's not my biggest worry in terms of as a from a position or as a player in that game. But yeah, it's not good. If it continues, I would not be surprised if he was maybe gone in January. If a Saudi team comes in or something, or I don't know, if like a West Ham or something, if there's like a mid-table team or something that manages to have enough money and they need a forward, not be surprised if a team comes in to try and get him, or if he's gone by next summer, because I don't think he'll be gone this summer. I think it's a little bit too late in the window, and just I don't see enough. He's been poor, but I can still see a reason as to why he should stay around, at least for now. Come next season, if he plays like he has done this preseason for the rest of the season, there's no reason. Especially if, Madueke develops, or we get Elise or Kudus and they develop. If Mudryk develops, because there's reports apparently Angelo might be staying. If he gets game time and he looks good, then there's no reason to be here past next summer. But as I said, he's certainly not the only one that's been poor this preseason. There's been some really good performances. There's been some really poor performances.
We'll come back to that, because I'm very curious as to who's on your list there. But I agree with what you're saying about Sterling. I think if Sterling were to go, I think it's going to be next summer. Early, depending on how bad. Earliest could even be January. Because if he gets benched by, let's say, Angelo, and that's a good point you bring up too, because there are rumors that Angelo might stay. If he gets benched by Angelo and he doesn't even manage to get his spot back, or when he does get the opportunity to prove that he deserves to, have that right wing or left wing spot, and he fumbles the bag and doesn't do well, like, it's looking tough for Sterling. And you know what sucks even more is that Sterling, going into this preseason, I think all of us had in our heads an idea that Sterling was the guaranteed left winger, and then Mudryk is going to have to come in as a sub. Now it's looking like Mudryk is going to be that guy. Like he looked electric yesterday. He looked direct. He looked like he was, like Ahmed had mentioned earlier, Poch telling him how to use his pace correctly. He looked dangerous coming inside, which we're seeing a lot more of Chilwell going on the wing and the left winger coming inside. Same thing with the right wing going deep, and then the right winger coming inside. When we see Mudryk coming inside, linking up with players like Jackson, Enzo, Carney, like, he looks brilliant. We're not seeing that with Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling doesn't even get a chance to go deep or cut inside. Like, he can't get the ball up. It's so frustrating. I don't know if anyone else wants to touch on Sterling or disagrees with anything that was said so far. Go ahead, Chris.
I will say, like, he hasn't got the greatest, like, footwork, and I've noticed, like, in preseason, he hasn't been normally.
He should though. He is Sterling.
I know he's Sterling, but he's better like drifting in the box and everything, always being in the right opportunities and getting like assists or goals or whatever. Like, and maybe he has to like adapt a bit more, or maybe they like get a better tune out of Sterling. Like he pushes up more forward in the right or something. I don't know how like if he's gonna like do well this season. Completely honest, but like I'd want to give him that chance. Like it can work out at Chelsea because I think he is a good player. We do like feeding the chances and everything because that's what he thrives on more. It's like feeding, giving the ball to him, like get a good chance in. And
Sure.
He normally does put away a lot of chances. He isn't a bad finisher, I don't think. He can miss chances. I think anyone can miss chances as well. But yeah, like I wouldn't want to write him off so yet. But like this preseason, I think he's been average, but maybe some people might say he's worse than that, but I think he's been a bit average. Not done a whole
Did
lot.
Sterling even get himself in good positions to score yesterday?
No,
I don't think he did.
That one chance he had,
He
but
couldn't because he couldn't drill past his man.
But like even like okay, like, I'm just trying to like give him the benefit of the doubt here. And it's not really much of a benefit. But like even if he couldn't be the one dribbling past his players, like it could have been Mudryk and Sterling could have been just sitting in the box because he's kind of that poacher kind of scorer, right? I don't think he even got that opportunity, or not the opportunity, but I don't think he got himself into those spaces. Go ahead, Scott.
Well, I say like obviously not necessarily going off the game yesterday, going off like more the Newcastle game. We can say all this about Sterling. Oh, he works better getting in the box and being more like a poacher, but when he had the opportunity to do that against Newcastle, he just came deep to collect the ball. Like that was the issue with him. Is with we went from having an outlet on the left-hand side in Mudryk, who always wanted to stretch the field and get in behind, to a guy who wanted to just drop deep to collect the ball in deep positions. So it wasn't even like he himself was putting himself in a position to be in the box because he was dropping deep all the time. So like, so he's not even getting himself in those positions. So I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt on this because, like I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt because it's not a case of like it's not even a case of it's because of what is being asked of him in terms of from a manager perspective. Because you can't tell me that as a manager you decide to go from a guy, or you decide to go and change the tactics where you have an outlet to where you have no outlet in an attacking area. That can't be a way that just surely that doesn't make sense. So that tells me that's more of a player thing.
Vic, I can't disagree with this comment more. I think Sterling on that pitch looks so disinterested sometimes, and yesterday showed it as well. The amount of times that, and Ahmed could attest to this, and you guys can see the receipts are there. The reaction to the game, the watch along is there. The amount of times that I got frustrated with Sterling, who looked like he gave half an effort to try to press and dispossess the opponent that is like 3 feet in front of him, and he kind of just lets the guy go. Like I wish I could just replay the moments where this happens, where Sterling loses the ball and then he just doesn't even try to win it back, or he's close to pressing the guy and he doesn't even put in an effort to try to like dispossess him to get the ball. And he does. It's one effort, and that's it. Oh, I didn't get it that time. Where like I'm looking at Jackson, like Jackson doesn't get it the first time. He's going the second. He's going the third time. He's going the fourth. Like he is on the opposing player. Like he is harassing the player on the ball. I don't see that from Sterling. And mind you, like okay, maybe you could say he's a different style of player and all this, but like, God, he just strikes me as he's not hungry. Like he seems so disinterested in this club. He seems so disinterested in the game. He wants to just win the ball. He wants to get the moment. He wants to have just that hero moment. It's just I can't disagree, bro. He ran into traffic, committed stupid fouls.
I agree with that, by the way. I actually do agree with it. Like this,
he did run into traffic, but he chose to run into traffic. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, but I think it just like. I do agree with what Vic's saying a bit. Like, I do think some of it is as well. He just doesn't have anywhere near the same level of like. He's not able to take players on effectively anymore. Like as a
someone made a comment as well about he's lost a bit of pace, and I actually think that might also play a part of it because Sterling was quite a fast player. Now he's not as fast as he was before. Like the fullback was keeping up with him with such level of ease. It was kind of ridiculous.
He has dropped a bit of pace over the years, for sure. I've noticed while at City he was like electric, like a few years like in City, but I still think he's not like slow. Like he's still got a bit of pace about him. He's like he's faster than most defenders. I still think as well. Like a lot of defenders. I don't think he's that slow yet.
It's not pace I have an issue with. It's his decision making. It's like the mental side of it is the issue. Is the issue I have. Like even if he has lost a set, like physically, right? It's not even just that. It's decision making. It's like it's running into cul-de-sacs. It's the stuff we clown Gallagher for. And Gallagher's like what 8 years younger, 7 years younger, something like that. So like, you kind of expect it to a certain extent from Gallagher, right? Because he's younger and like he's had a lot less game time and a lot less experience. Like with Sterling, it's a case of like you should know how to do this. You've played for arguably the best manager we have ever seen. He's played for arguably the best manager we've ever seen in our lifetimes. And like, so you understand how to play at the top level. You understand like the decision making that you should be doing at a top level. This like I don't care if you miss a couple of chances if the decision making up to that point is decent. Like I'll get annoyed to a point, but it's not even that. It's like he's not, as I said before, he's not even getting in the box. He's not even linking up play well. He's slowing down play. He's taking too many touches. He's like making bad decisions where it's a poor pass choice, a poor pass option, for example. Like it's just that stupid shit. And as I said, I expect that from a guy like 8 years younger than you. I don't expect that from you. Like,
it's Alex.
I expect that from Angelo or Moreira. I expect that from Mudryk.
Like we saw a lot of that with Mudryk. I think
Mudryk is one of those
stream and smash the like buttons yourself, Winter Surfer.
I'll say Mudryk had one in the first half where he did a mount where it's like he had that the comp or the clip that's gone like around Twitter where it's like he does a great touch, drives forward, and he just makes a poor choice at the end. He should pass it, but he tries to go for a long shot and smash it over the bar. It's like that I expect from Mudryk to an extent because he's 20, 21 or whatever it is, hasn't got that much game time. I don't expect that from Sterling. I expect Sterling's decision making to be maybe not elite, but at least very good.
Fuck, I was gonna say something. I lost train of thought. I'm so sorry.
No.
Oh goddamn! I really did lose my train of thought.
What are your thoughts on Sterling, Alex?
That I remember before Alex goes. I remember what I was gonna say, guys. I can't believe I forgot this. Over 100 of you watching, 44 likes. Smash the like button, please. It does help out the channel tremendously. Don't forget to wipe your feet at the door. That's the equivalent of smashing the like button. So go ahead, help me out. Help me, help you. Help me, help you. Smash that like button. But Alex, we were talking about Raheem Sterling. I don't know if you have anything to add on to what was already said.
If you were sell him, if money don't come, I don't care.
That's fair enough.
If somebody wants to buy him, I don't have problem selling him. That's it. There's no if, buts, and maybes.
Would it have to be the right price, or you just don't care how much?
I mean, closer to what we paid, minus 1 year of playing. So if somebody gives me 35, 40,
that's fair enough.
Don't care. Especially if that investment will be put in Kudus.
Yeah, Kudus. Sorry.
Okay. Funny enough, guys, I actually did find the stats on yesterday's game on SofaScore. And Raheem Sterling attempted 5 dribbles, only won 1.
Only completed 1.
So he did complete a dribble. I knew I saw one.
Yes, it was horrible.
I saw like 1 or 2.
Actually, he's a troll, man.
No. I said he didn't win many, but
the field was so bad, so I don't even know what was touch, what was pass, because they looked like it was touch, but the bounce like it was, I don't know.
Chris,
the field
your
like
eternal
Ahmed's hair.
Your eternal optimism, Chris, is commendable.
Well, I had none last season, so I need to.
You just got told that he completed 1 in 5 dribbles as a winger and went, "Oh, that's good." He completed.
No. Hang on. It was because they said no. Because
you said you saw him do multiple dribbles.
No. I said he did like. I swear I saw do 1 or 2 because you acted like you did none.
1.
Yeah, it's a terrible pitch too, man. You move on.
I have it right here. No,
I don't
blame the
have a
pitch.
favorite player, Tayo. I don't have it. I never did.
What, you don't have a favorite signing so far?
No, I don't. I really don't care.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
never like I said, it was the last time that I really cared about the player was John Terry before he did the gymnastic shit with City and used the club as a bargain thing. That was the last time.
Yeah.
And I'm
Oh,
staying
Jesus.
by it. Even Hazard, I was on Hazard as when he was horrible that one season. I didn't care about his butt cheeks, how he run. The bastard was blazing poor. I would say first one that he was not good that season.
So going back to what Scott was saying earlier, Scott, you said that you had bigger concerns for the Liverpool game. Do you want to, go into that? Left back. So
Yeah.
Chilwell, Cucurella, both.
Bit of column A, bit of column B. Mainly with Chilwell, but Cucurella hasn't been good either. I think that I thought he had a good first half in that game against Brighton, which I liked, bar the one stupid mistake. For me, it's more defensively more than anything. I don't really have too much concerns going forward apart from I have a few concerns with Chilwell, but not in the way you'd expect, just more like a positioning sense. Because you were mentioning earlier about Mudryk, I don't think Mudryk and Chilwell work personally in the same team because I think Mudryk wants to pick the ball up out as wide as he can, which means Chilwell can't overlap. Which if he isn't overlapping, he isn't really offering anything. To be completely honest with you, which means you either need to play Cucurella or go and get a new left back or play Hall or something. But yeah, it's just it's more defensively, man, and just looking at how Liverpool are going to play, and depending on what they're going to do with the system. I haven't watched them in pre-season. I've no idea whether they're still playing the box midfield, they're playing the normal 4-3-3, whatever. If they're going back to their normal 4-3-3, then I really worry about that side. Colwell was going to have so much on his hands defensively in that Liverpool game. That's the only area that concerns me. Because I'm not convinced either Cucurella really. I think he's been better defensively, but even so, he's been erratic at times, which is not good. And I'm not convinced at all by Chilwell, at all. To the point where I had this debate actually, or I had a little conversation about this in a group chat earlier, where he's better than who I'm about to mention. And don't get it twisted, I think he's better. I don't think he's shit, right? I don't think he's flat out garbage. I just think that he is massively overrated compared to what he actually is. From a defensive standpoint, I don't know if there's too much difference between Chilwell and Alonso.
Right, look at you taking
Defensive standpoint, you said, right?
Yes, actually, I'll be real. From an all-round gameplay perspective, I think Chilwell is better overall, but if you look at their best attributes are remarkably similar as players.
I would say the only
thing I say
that stands out is the pace. And
I say the only thing he has over Alonso for me, absolutely, definitely, is mobility. He's more mobile and can recover a bit better.
I don't know if Alonso was better defensively. I think.
Alonso was horrible defensively.
He was running a slow treadmill back.
Alonso was like one of those wacky inflatable tube men. He was just putting. He was putting into pretzels back there.
There was a comp from the game yesterday about how bad he played. I think Alexis tweeted it. And there's a moment I saw where literally he presses up to the halfway line for no reason and gets beat by one ball over the top. Literally for no reason. Bro presses the centre mid for some reason, and he get one ball over the top and the guy's in the channel. That. Again, it comes back to what I said about Sterling when I say it's the basics. It's not like I'm asking Chilwell to defend a 2v1 and defend both players at the same time. I'm asking him to not get caught pressing too high up the pitch and leave an area of space open. That I'm asking for basics, man. And as I said, he's not the only one culpable. Cucurella has been culpable as well because he's erratic as shit. And this is coming from someone who likes Cucurella, but he has been erratic as shit at times. It's like he's on coke.
I don't disagree with anything you said. I mean, I'll just point out that I feel like Chilwell had overall a better game than his other games yesterday. I don't think defensively he's as sound as Chelsea fans like to make it seem like he is. I remember, actually, funny enough, even 2 videos ago, I believe, someone left a comment on the thing about how it's shameless how we're bad mouthing Chilwell, but like, I don't think that Chilwell is relieved from criticism. I think there are multiple aspects of Chilwell's game where you can criticize, and a lot of them being the defensive side of it. I just
sorry to interrupt. I just told you, like, you can genuinely make the argument, right? Like, you can make the debate in terms of defensively that he is as bad as Alonso. I think that's a argument you can make. Whether you think he is as bad or whatever, that's a legitimate argument you can make. And Alonso was rightfully so at times, like ruined in terms of he was ripped into at times for how bad he was defensively, and again, rightfully so at times. You don't hear that about Chilwell. You don't hear that about Chilwell. And this is where I say I don't think he's shit, right? I don't think he is garbage, like there's nothing there. I think he's a decent player. But the way that some Chelsea fans speak about him, you'd think he was one of the best left backs in the world. And I'm sorry.
The only thing he did yesterday is better, that he finally understood, or he got punched in the face by somebody and said, no, you're not inverting anymore, you're left back, so you're going overlapping. And it's it. That's what happened. He did not invert. He did overlapping every time he was on the left side. That's the only thing he did better yesterday than Cucurella.
Alex, he does that normally anyway. Even in that Newcastle game, that's the only thing he was doing was overlapping. Because once he got the ball, every pass, cross, everything was over hit, under hit, off target, like.
Nah, he was inverted, and that was pisses me off because he gets
against Newcastle. He wasn't, bro. Go back and there was so many times he'd overlap because it was because Sterling kept dropping deep, and he'd overlap, and then he'd pick the ball up, go to hit a cross, and hit the first man or over hit it, and it's like, bro. As I said, I think I've said this before, and I'll reiterate this consistently until one of them, either someone takes that position or one of these two guys proves me otherwise. This season is going to be a key season for left back. For both of those guys.
I think it will be determination for at least one of them to be sold.
It may even be both.
There's rumors today that Cucurella is up for sale, so
it may even be both. And as I said, I'd be keeping an eye on Bayern and on AC Milan this season to see what happens in terms of with Tuchel this season, because it's been shaky defensively so far this preseason, and what happens with AC Milan. Like, because if there is. I say if there's any way you can potentially look at either bringing Davies or Hernandez to the club, then you need to. Because if you're going to have someone, right, that's iffy defensively, they need to be incredible going forward. And Hernandez and Davies are that. Chilwell is not. I can allow the defensive errors to an extent if you're incredible going forward, and Chilwell is not. Also, Texas Blue, the other people I think who had a bad preseason or poor. I don't think Enzo's been great. I'll be completely honest, I like him, but I don't think he's been incredible. I don't think that NKUNKU's been amazing. He's been good, and I like that he's scored because it gets some confidence. But in terms of overall play, I don't think he's been incredible. I don't know about the game yesterday, but in the other games I've seen of him, I don't think Silva's been good. I think you can see his age is starting to catch up to him a little bit. And let me not even mention Kepa. Apart from that, I think everyone else has had a pretty good preseason. Even Gallagher, to an extent, has had a pretty good preseason.
Anyway, I just came to say hello and to show Winter Surfer you cannot retweet, you need to show up and represent. So if you're listening, stop being a pussy and come on the stream and support what you're retweeting. Just like you retweet puppies and all about the puppies and missing people. See you guys later.
You heard it here. How's it going, Alex? You heard it here, Andrew. I think that's another hard conversation we need to have. And pardon me, guys, I just had to take a call. I think that's the hard conversation that we need to have about Enzo right now. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's partly to do because he doesn't necessarily have the most competent midfield partners. And not to say that Santos or even Gallagher for this instant is bad, right? I just think that he needs someone at his level, like a Caicedo, or I'll just say like a Caicedo, because I can't really off the top of my head, I don't feel like putting out examples out there. But it's just, I think he does need that partnership, and you can see how he suffered yesterday without that partnership. If you want to look at some stats, we got the pass accuracy stats. His accuracy was 85%, 2 key passes, which normally I would think this is a higher number for Enzo. Only 5 long balls attempted. Thiago Silva had more long balls attempted. Colwell had more long balls attempted. Like, you didn't watch the game, Scott, but we basically, what we did was we bypassed the midfield because nothing was getting through in our midfield. Like, our midfield was just Enzo, and we were just sending long balls from Thiago Silva and Colwell to Jackson and Mudryk and them.
It doesn't surprise me. And as I said, I think a lot of the issues I've seen Enzo face were the same sort of issues he was facing last season in terms of, like, defensively. We know he's not good defensively. Like, that's legitimately his biggest weakness. He can be a little bit rash at times, or a little bit like, just kind of not even necessarily rash, but just kind of lose his position a little bit at times. Like, we saw that with the goal that got scored, the Newcastle one, where, like, Gordon just breezed past him and things like that. But yeah, it's just like, it's not been good. But again, I do kind of give him some leeway a little bit, just because I know what he can be, I know what he can do. But yeah, we need a partner with him, like a proper partner. Like, I like Santos, but he ain't there to play. It ain't there yet to play every week. I need a partner.
Like, even yesterday, I hate to say this, even yesterday, like, this goes to show that he does need a partner, because I think a large part of it too is he's going to get targeted, right? People know he's the best defender. He's going to get more pressure on him. Like, look at this stat right here. He lost possession 11 times like yesterday versus Gallagher, who only lost it 6. Like, this is so weird to say, but Gallagher was the better.
By the way, as well, just going back to who we mentioned earlier. Look who's 4th, by the way. That's our left back. That should not be happening.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Your left back should not be losing the ball the same amount of times, or only 4 less times than your wingers. Like that, bro. He should not be losing the ball that much. Just sorry, it is what it is.
I did notice Sterling was trying to, like, play a little bit of hero ball, like ping it at one point, like
14 times. Raheem Sterling.
I thought it was a good effort, but it didn't really land. Like, it's whereas to Mudryk, where he pinged the ball, and it was a good effort, but it didn't quite land. So, like, yeah, maybe he shouldn't be doing hero ball, or whatever you want to call it, like pinging the ball too often. Just pass it to the midfield more, or to Thiago.
Not even like, that's not what I mean, like hero ball necessarily, Chris. I just feel like he just wanted to do everything by himself. It's like Sterling's trying to play street ball and he forgets there's all like 9 other players on the pitch that can help him. Like, he just hogged the ball the whole time. And you look at how many times he got dispossessed. My man lost the ball 14 times. And you know what? Mudryk too. Mudryk lost the ball 14 times. But then you see the completed dribbles for Mudryk versus the completed dribbles for
Mudryk is probably one of our better players last night, though. He was trying a lot
7
of
attempts,
stuff.
7 attempts, 3 successful dribbles. Raheem Sterling, 5 attempts to 1 successful dribble.
I told you he did at least 1 or 2. Hey, Jackson 1 out of 3 as well. I thought he did more than 1, actually.
Jackson did fine. Jackson did the best he could. Took shots.
His movement was great. His link up where him and Mudryk, where Mudryk had this little flick or something. They passed it between each other, and then they ran onto the box or whatever. I forgot what happened, but I just remember that link up they had at one moment. It was pretty good. Like, I'm liking the link up between Mudryk and Jackson for sure. I hope I can see that in the Premier League season as well. Then
even here you can see special. accurate passes. Mudryk 92%, 22 out of 24. Sterling 78%. So inaccurate passes right there. There was 6 inaccurate passes from Sterling. It's just, you got Mudryk on the other side, like, showing you up. It's like, it's so frustrating, man.
I was Sterling was trying to ping a few balls, like, distance wise.
Yeah, and it goes to show, like, another thing too, like, Colwell came on and immediately almost had like an impact on the game. Nearly scored.
Where he started.
He started, didn't he?
No. Wait. What did I say? I didn't mean to say Cole. I said Matson. I'm sorry. I meant Matson. I meant Matson. Matson came on and immediately had an impact on the game. My apologies, guys. But yeah, like Matson came on and like he played almost like a middle role, like the attacking mid role, and he did fine when he came on. He had an impact. Like he was more effective than what we saw from Sterling. You know, it's annoying. But going back to what we were talking about before, which was the Enzo situation. This is the third time, I believe, that we've seen Conor Gallagher start in that pivot. And I'm worried that although he had a decent game yesterday, I'm worried that Poch is going to go into Liverpool and start him over a Santos, who I think would be better suited in that pivot with Enzo.
Unless we get Caicedo. We got, what's it, 9 days now left? 9 days?
Even if we get, we play.
But
We don't play
Caicedo
them.
start.
That's the other thing too. But we don't play Liverpool this Sunday. We play them the following Sunday.
Yeah.
So we get a little bit of a break. There might be a behind closed doors game in there as well. Obviously, we're gonna react to that when we're gonna talk about that when we do. We're not gonna watch it, but we're gonna talk about that if and when that happens. But I don't know. Does it worry you that he'd rather have Gallagher in that pivot versus a Santos?
I understand why like Poch or like maybe other managers like Gallagher, because he does like do a lot of like running around and like pressing and everything. Like maybe managers like that in a team, like someone just to basically do a lot of running and just tackling, pressing. He can actually score a goal. We know Gallagher, if he gets in the right position or something, he can get a goal. He has his moments for sure. He definitely has his bad moments as well. That's like no doubt. Like we all see that. I would actually prefer Santos, but I would still trust what Poch would want, because like I can see what Poch is doing with the team, like the patterns of play and everything. So he must trust Gallagher not to fuck up the patterns of play too often, hopefully, like and stuff like that. Yeah, like I still trust that Gallagher's a very fit guy. He can do a lot of running. I know it sounds kind of bad just saying, oh, a player just do running or what, but like some man just like that in a team, like someone to do all that dog work or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, like I wouldn't be too worried, but I don't know who's. You can be surprised, man. It could be Cassaday.
You know what's? I'm sorry, I have to go off on a tangent. Put a pin on this about
Enzo.
Gallagher.
Oh, Gallagher.
And Enzo. Literally within the span of 1 minute, you say we need money, and then you say we need to sign Mbappe. You know how that contradicts itself?
This guy. You've been saying get us Mbappe.
Like Eugene, I think you just come here to stir up the pot. Like I literally think that's all you come here to do. Like you don't actually mean half of these things. Like you can't be this shallow. Like you surely. Like, let me just show you guys one more time. Here, right? We need money. Hey,
I don't think Mbappe is going to join team by any European football.
Like,
how much would you have to give Mbappe? Like 800k a week?
I'm just showing people. Like, this is the comments being said. Like,
300k a week, bro.
Like, you can't be serious, man. But anyways, we move. But yeah, I mean, Scott, I'm sure you're really concerned with that. You think Poch is going to start with Gallagher in the pivot for Liverpool?
Potentially. Like, I'm not actually massively against it. Like, even though it's Gallagher, just because the options there are limited. At best, like even Santos has his limitations at times, just because he's young. And also, Liverpool's midfield hasn't been great. Like they're without McAllister, I think he's injured. Szoboszlai offers nothing, and they're playing Curtis Jones as a 6. That's where they're at. So like Liverpool don't really like worry me that much, apart from down at their right hand side or like at right wing. Apart from that, like I'm not worried about Diaz, because our right backs, like whatever you can say negatively about our left backs, you can say equally positively about our right backs. Like that depth is sorted for 10 years, providing no injuries. I'm not really worried about their strikers. Like I have faith in whatever centre back partnership they're playing. I have faith in them. Kepa, I never have any faith in, but hopefully he proves me wrong. So I don't really have any worries, to be honest, about their midfield in general or most of their team. Like that Bayern game, I didn't really watch it. I watched more like the highlights and saw like the goals. But their team is so bad. They've somehow managed to get 2 midfielders in. They've managed to kind of fix bits of their team, and they're still just as easy to play through. Like this is just their club system. They are so easy to play through. It's unbelievable.
You know, one thing you pointed out that I thought was an interesting conversation to have. Against Liverpool, both of you, you start James or Gusto?
James.
Both.
Because
Both. Fair enough.
yeah, just play Gusto on the left and
I'm
James on the
serious.
right.
No, that's what I do. I'm serious. Or if
don't
you
blame
think
you.
it would work, you play Gusto at right back and you play James in midfield.
Okay.
James can kind of play midfield. Like he's good on the ball. Like you can't go wrong with it. Like he can shoot, he can pass, he can defend. Like I wouldn't mind him at DM actually next to Enzo. Like maybe that could be a solid thing and have Gusto at right back. Yeah, I would actually be more favored to that because we don't, like you said, we don't have much options in DM. We have Gallagher is like the most likely choice, and I'd rather Reece James because he's more talented than Gallagher. Like wherever he plays, he can play DM. He's gonna do a better job in Gallagher and DM for sure. So yeah, like not Gallagher. Reece James at DM, I would like to see. I don't know. I would like to see Reece James at DM actually because he can play there. He's played there before. He's even played there for Chelsea as well. Point, and I thought he did alright. That was actually against Brighton, I'm pretty sure, as I remember. Yeah, I'll take that.
The reason I ask is because, and Scott, I'm gonna press you again because you got to give me an answer. The reason I ask is because from what we've seen so far, and listen, I gotta emphasize this, like incredibly emphasize this. I'm not hating on James, and I'm not saying James is not good. What I'm trying to say is that so far from what I've seen of James, like it's been impressive. Obviously, like James is getting back into fitness and all that, this and that. I feel like he's lost a little bit of pace, and I feel like overall, outside of maybe 1 or 2 attacks from James, like overall, Gusto's been providing more defensively and the same, just about the same offensively than what James has been doing. I feel like James still needs to recover, get himself back into like match fitness, whereas Gusto seems ready. And I thought the idea was Gusto was going to come here to be a backup. It really looks like he's going to be competing with James. And I'll listen. This is one of the few times I'm going to agree with you, Eugene. I think Malo Gusto starts. I think Malo Gusto actually starts against Liverpool. I think James is fine. I think James is going to come good, and he's still a fantastic right back. But I think Gusto's been the more impressive right back in this preseason. Y'all might hate me for that. I'm sorry, but I'm just keeping it 100% here. So, Scott, which one do you start?
I agree with you. I think of the two, and this isn't to say James has been bad because he hasn't. I just think that Gusto has been incredible, and I think he's far and away, similarly to Jackson, kind of like he's far and away exceeded our expectations. It's just a difficult one because, as Aaron mentions, like there is a potential that James is the captain next season. Like I don't know whether he's captain or vice captain. I'm not entirely sure, but he's going to be one or the other. If he is captain, it's a bit difficult to kind of leave him out the team, especially if he's fit, considering we know how good he can be. And so it's just like it's a weird one. This is why I say you need to start both. I don't care how you do it. Find a way. Like if you have got to literally, as I said before, maybe you just go and tell Gusto, you don't really need to attack. You don't really need to provide much support. You like if you can provide a little bit of support, maybe up to the halfway line, and just focus to defend. Play him left back, like in that first game, just to combat Salah. Or you play him right back, as I said. See if you can find a way to play Reece as DM. But yeah, It's going to be a
played
weird
left
one.
back before.
I don't think so. I'm fairly sure he hasn't.
Probably not, but
I think it's a tough conversation. It's very much up in the air. Like I don't think any of us expected Gusto to be this good. I'll just say that on the limb. Like we knew he was good. You know, we showed you guys the stats. It was very, very impressive. Ooh, it's just.
I think it's
I
one
don't
thing
know.
actually hearing how good he is, and one thing seeing
Another thing to see
on the
it,
pitch at Chelsea how quickly he settled even in Chelsea the team, like even in Poch's system, like he's suited really well, he's fitted really quickly. So yeah, like it's kind of a hard one, but I would like maybe what Scott said, play these games at DM. Like, would that really have a DM? We might have Caicedo then, hopefully we do, but I doubt Caicedo starts for that game.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that as well. Like, even if we do get Caicedo in now, I just don't think I see him starting in the team. He's probably going to come in as a sub because he hasn't gone through Pochettino's fitness regime, right? And on top of that, he hasn't even gotten a chance to kick ball with the team. Like, I don't think just throwing him in and hoping he gets the tactics is just gonna work. I just don't think.
Probably asking for a disaster if you throw him straight into the Liverpool game.
Yeah, if anything, you're just gonna make him look bad. He's gonna look clueless. He's gonna look like Sterling in there, man. So. But I guess we can go on to discuss Kepa. Let me see if I can find that goal. I have my doubts about it, but I think a world-class keeper can probably react to that better.
Oh, the goal! I don't know because it was very close, and it was so quickly how it all happened. I remember pretty well. Like how I thought he was offside. He looked offside, but I guess he wasn't. But he was 1-on-1. Like he put beside his feet really quickly, low driven. A world class. Maybe I think Alisson would save it though. I rate Alisson very highly. He's very quick coming out forward. He's very quick going down to the ground as well. His reactions are quick. Good at shot stopping, but I don't know. A lot of keepers probably would struggle to save that still.
It just looks savable. Let me see if I can find
I wouldn't even blame
Kepa
though, because like it's in a 1v1 situation. I don't really expect. He's not really. He's not world class. Like he's none of all that. So I don't expect a lot from Kepa. Oh, you found it.
I found it. All right, let's get this on the screen. Okay, boom, boom. Let's go. So yeah, there was a ball in the box. Kepa punches it out. It lands out here. There's a shot taken, and then.
Oh, the quality on this stream for me was bad as well, ish.
Oh, great!
I think I did see this goal.
I wouldn't blame Kepa.
There we go.
Look how close. No, but Kepa, it's so quick. You can maybe say world class. Like I think Alisson might have saved it, but he's trying to make himself look big, quick as possible. Trying to like spread his wings like his arms.
Where does this come? Hang on, where does this whole thing come from? Is this from a corner?
I believe it's a corner.
I think it was. It was so.
Trying to find the moment right here. It looks like it's a corner, to be honest, or a free kick. So hard to tell.
No, hang on. Go back a little bit.
Yeah, so. Oh yeah, Kepa. Yeah,
Kepa punches the ball. Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't the
Kepa manages to punch the ball.
Bro,
Go ahead.
Regardless of the save, that's the biggest issue with Kepa, right there, and that's why he will never ever be elite. He'll never ever be good enough.
Like Icy said right here,
bro. And this is the bit, right? I'm not massively enthused with this Robert Sanchez thing, but this is the most important thing for me. Is he's 6'5", so he should be able to command his fucking box, like at least.
Is he 6'5"?
He's
He looks
6'5"
smaller for some
apparently.
reason when I looked at him.
I
Sometimes.
saw someone say he was 6'5". I could be wrong. Please correct me if I am. But I saw someone say he was 6'5".
1 second, real quick. Just hold on to that thought. T1, thank you so much for the $7.99 super chat. When CFC was linked to Fofana and Enzo, they forced the situation to MK to make the move happen. While Caicedo is just chilling, his heart is not set on CFC. Possibly. Let's see how things cook. This is only the first week where things are in Caicedo's court. But Scott, go ahead. Continue what you were saying.
I was going to say, you're right, Scott.
He's 6'6".
He's almost 6'6".
No, he is 6'6".
Pretty tall guy.
Well, he's 197. That's like 6'5", 0.5 inches in feet.
According to Wikipedia, it's like 6'6".
Okay.
But it's like, again, I just want somebody who commands the box more than anything, like, because at the end of the day, like, you just put you do like stupid shit like this where like you just push the ball out or punch the ball out just into the dangerous areas, just back to the opposing team, like command the box. If you're going to punch it as well, punch out away, like away from danger. You punch it back to the other team.
Yeah. I just, yeah, the punch could have been better. I even think this save could have been savable, to be honest. Like, he's so close. If it was, I would even argue, if it was Sanchez, who's a bigger keeper, I think he puts his leg out in front of that. Because Kepo's almost diving in the wrong direction.
He's made a decision where he's going to shoot, basically, at that point. He's going to, I'm going to commit to the right side more, his right.
Yeah, and Kepa already committed to his Kepa's right. You know, like, I think another keeper probably blocks Wolf right there. Even getting that leg that Kepa's pushing off of him, even getting that leg, that thigh up there to get like somewhat of a deflected ball, like, because the ball goes through his mid area. It's just, I don't know.
We could do better of a keeper, but there's not many choices out there. And now we got another keeper who maybe might, he will compete with Kepa because they're both, I think, bad to each other. Like, not great,
I
but
disagree
okay.
with that, but okay.
I think they're both okay keepers. They're not like completely dead, but yeah, like maybe the other keeper, Robert Sanchez, because he's like 6'6", he might get there. And I will say, yeah, like with if Robert Sanchez like ran out there, he's like, well, people you say 6'6", he can probably run out and grab it, like claim it. So
yeah, true.
That's the one advantage of a taller keeper, especially being at 6'6". Yeah, I swear he's offside, but you're not gonna do VAR for friendlies. You're just not gonna do VAR for that. Brighton's is Brighton's third choice keeper?
I don't think it's because of skill. I think it's because of disagreements with Deserve.
Oh, right.
I'd have to look into it more.
Yeah, he is Brighton's first choice. I've just seen the goal again. I actually don't blame Kepa for the sake, like everything after the punch. I don't blame Kepa for, to be honest. Yeah. Okay. Like, I don't think he can do much like with the shot, considering where it is. Like the guy takes it really quickly. My guess you go for the punch, like command your area and claim that. It's from a corner as well, based on the position of where. Like, I might be wrong, but based on the clip I've seen, it looks as though it was a corner, based on where how the ball's coming in. Which, if that's the case, he needs to claim that. Yeah,
I just don't think he's tall enough to claim it.
Nice, yeah, he's 6'2", I guess. Well, just about by the sounds of it.
There we go. This is probably why he's third choice keeper. I don't know enough about the story between his beef and De Zerbi. Sanchez was vocal about the way Robert De Zerbi was beefing with Trossard. It was shortly after that whole Trossard debacle too, where I noticed he wasn't playing anymore.
That's a stupid reason to make it that keeper be the third choice, because he's vocal.
I mean, if you're gonna disagree with the manager or go against the manager has a complete right to not, play you.
Hey, don't have all yes men. let him be vocal. Let him have his opinion.
Because prior to all that, Sanchez was a starting keeper.
I thought that too, and then I just said third
He
choice
is.
keeper.
He was a,
So
he was a
it's
starting
not a
keeper for
skill
Brighton
issue
for the
then.
past 3 seasons. It's not a skill issue,
Nah, okay.
which is probably another reason why people want to equivocate him to Kepa. I don't
Man,
think
we
he's
should-
equal to Kepa.
We should have gone for a bit cheaper then. Like you said, you don't even use that guy. That you have personal issues, like 10 million.
Well, technically we did. We got 20 million. Oh, I don't know about 10 million. I don't know if
I'll be real.
Brighton would have
No,
agreed to that.
The deal looks worse for me with the Arsenal deal with Raya.
Yeah, they're gonna get him for 20 million as well, aren't they?
Yep. Getting him for the same price. Actually, I think they're getting him for less because the add-ons are only 3 and our add-ons are 5.
Do you think he's better than Sanchez?
Yes.
Raya. I disagree.
I think he's better. I can't.
I'm not going to
I
say
don't
he's
rate
like
him.
world class or he's much better, but I think
Yeah.
he's better.
None of them are. Yeah, none of them are. But I would say, and we'll talk about this more on Sunday, obviously. But like,
think
I'll
so,
say
I
that
think as well.
I'll say Sanchez is good. Kepa's okay. That's about the difference right there.
Yeah, they're just okay keepers. They're not like, I don't think they're worthy of like Premier League winning teams, but they're okay.
Maybe.
They're second choice, and you can't really make Kepa a second choice when he's on 150k a week. And this is
That's
where
an
I think
issue.
this is my theory. I think Kepa stays for this season, and so does Robert Sanchez. Probably them. They both compete this season, and next season we'll look for a proper number 1 keeper, maybe not world class, but maybe elite level keeper, and or above. And then Robert Sanchez stays as a bench player, like rotation with the other keeper we actually go for, and then Kepa's off to somewhere else. Like, I think that's what's gonna happen. Like, we sign our second keeper, get him eased in for this season as well. That's what I think what's gonna happen with the whole keeper situation.
I don't disagree. We'll
Kepa's
I think
gonna
we're
be
just
here
gonna.
till the contract ends.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Kepa's
Kepa's gonna be
here
here until his contract ends.
I think he might go next season, but
He's not
that's
signing
another.
him.
No one's gonna pay his wages.
Do you think? Wait, okay. Do you think Juventus gonna pay Lukaku's wages?
There's a big old difference there, Chris.
What? Am I missing something?
Number one, you pay the big money for strikers. Number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, Lukaku is best is better than Kepa is best.
I guess.
And also with
Yeah.
Lukaku, if you can find a system that works for him, like that helps. You can't.
Yeah,
what
if you get him
system do
3
you set
chances.
that masks what he's bad at?
Yeah,
Does
if you
Lukaku fit the Allegri system?
Fits
I
it
have no
better
idea.
than he fits it better than like other players. He fits it better than Vlahovic does.
Okay.
But that's the thing, and the thing is with Kepa as well is like I don't know how much truth there is to it, but there was that report I saw today that we like basically pulled out of signing like either Onana or Maignan or going for a top keeper because we couldn't find a suitor for Kepa, which is the third year running that's happened. I think the only team we could find that was interested in him last year was Lazio on loan.
Remember that.
Yeah.
And nothing ever came of those.
No,
rumors
and,
either.
and my man's just coming off his best form basically since he first got here, and still can't get a move.
Yeah, it's the wages, man. No, I don't. I just don't think people want to pay that much in wages for a mid keeper.
Bro, when you go and look at the amount of keepers that are out there right now, in terms of like, if you're looking for a semi-decent keeper, because the thing is, like, most top clubs are going to have a keeper that's better than him, yeah? So they're looking for a backup. No one's paying that for a backup. And also, if you want a backup, you can go and pay like 20 mil and give half the wages to like a Raya, for example. Or you can go and get like a Sommer, who's going to cost you far less and who's probably better. Or you can go and get a young guy. Like maybe you go and get like, I don't know if he's really playing at Benfica, but like a Mile Svila, or like that young Italian kid, I don't know what his name is, that's meant to be a really good prospect. You just go and get someone like that, or a Lafont, right? So
Ahmed's ranting Arabian around the font.
I was
like,
I heard about things about the punt, yeah.
but yeah, like so the only real teams you can look to sell him to are like some mid-table team or some like maybe Europa League, Champions League level, like pushing level team from a different league. So you're looking at maybe a Lazio, maybe a Borussia like Mönchengladbach or something, and those they're not accepting that. No one is paying his wages at that level. And again, most of these teams, if they want a goalkeeper, will just go and find someone from their own league. They'll just try and take a punt on someone who's going to be so much cheaper from their own league.
I was gonna say, can't like Kepa still like just go on less wage if he accepts that though? Like, say we move him on next season. Not saying this season, of course. Next season, and they offer like 75k a week, right? He can accept that still though, right? Like, there's nothing stopping Kepa accepting that. You can accept less wage, moving to a different club. Like,
Why would he?
even if you've well, he might. I don't know, because say for example, Robert Sanchez replaces him. He's a second choice keeper. He just wants game time. Do you maybe play for Spain? Because I don't know about the Spanish keepers. There isn't really any top Spanish keepers. Maybe he wants like first.
I think there's like
first
3
team
keepers
game
in front of Kepa for the Spanish, and Robert Sanchez is probably one of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's Spanish. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, you mean the same thing that happened under Mendy?
Well, yeah, but
who is
he's
the
over.
Spanish keeper? I always forget his
Over,
name.
he's overtook again. Now.
It's Unai Simon is the first
Come on.
choice.
Yeah.
I say in the last in the Nations League final, the 3 keepers were Unai Simon, David Raya, I think, and Kepa.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh my God. Okay.
I don't know. Just maybe he want to play first team football. Like, if he cares about that, like, just take 50% off.
But he didn't do that last year.
Or we could just pay off his contract.
Yeah, but like,
yeah. I don't know. I have a funny feeling.
thinking...
I have a funny feeling he's gone next season. But
wow, I guess I was thinking because I saw the World Cup squad for Spain. The 3 keepers were Unai Simon, who was the starter, Robert Sanchez, and David Raya. Kepa didn't even make that team. I guess for the Euros, or what, the Euro qualifiers is it that you guys are doing right now? I can't remember. I don't know how you guys format that. But that last call up, I guess he's trying out Kepa. And Sanchez hasn't been playing. So, I don't know. What were you guys talking about? I just wanted to put those 2 cents in there.
I just don't think Kepa's willing to lose out on the money he's getting. He's happy to chill on the bench. We saw that under Mendy.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
he did get that position after a season, though, didn't he?
What position?
Number 1. Like, he did after a season. Like,
Well, yeah, because Mendy was having howlers.
yeah,
Mendy was having howlers after howlers. Like, he was just doing brain dead things on the ball.
I don't know.
So-
Like, if we don't get rid of Kepa next season, though, we're gonna be stuck up to 2 keepers probably for another season, and people have to get used to that. Something like,
I think this is going to happen regardless.
are we gonna have 3 keepers like Sanchez, Kepa, and a league keeper next season, or we're gonna I think we're gonna stick with the 2 then if Kepa doesn't go. No way Sanchez goes. I don't think.
I think what happens is Kepa's here for the next 2 seasons. This season and the following. And he goes on a free.
His contract ends.
Yeah. I mean, he has 2 more years on his contract, so.
Don't think we'll buy a new keeper then if that does happen though. There's no way we have 3 keepers.
I don't think so.
Unless we loan him and we pay half his wages or something. I don't know.
Oh man.
I could see that.
Thanks. I guess thanks to Marino giving him a 7-year contract and 150k a week.
It could also be possible that we have Sanchez for this season, and then we sell him on, because the rumors are there is a sell-on clause on the contract.
If Marshall, I'm going to be completely honest with you. If that's the plan, it's a weird plan. Fucking stupid transfer. You might as well sign him on loan, because reportedly Brighton was interested in a loan move as well. They were open to a loan move. You might as well have signed him on loan.
Yeah.
Or go and got someone like Keylor Navas in on loan, or something like that. Or go and get Sommer in for a 1-year deal. Like,
yeah, I would easily taken Sommer.
The amount of other moves you could have done that would have made way more sense than this Sanchez move. If all you're doing is getting him in for 1 year. Like, if we've spent this money to get him in for 1 year to then move him on next summer, that's fucking stupid.
I'm just why did we sign Kepa on a 7-year deal? Like, that's too. I knew we needed a keeper, but like, we should have done 5 years, and it would have been over with this season actually if we did 5 years, and we could have moved on, but we just can't because we're paying for that price now. 150k.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's frustrating, but it is what it is. We're stuck with this keeper. I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on that we didn't talk about about this game? Because I feel like
I just want to get to the Premier League, man. I just want to get to the Premier League
yeah.
games. So I know who's
Next
going to be
Sunday,
heavily
man.
involved. So I just want to know who's going to be heavily involved, who's going to be like the key guys that are featured and things like that.
Yeah, I think the back four we saw start yesterday is probably going to be the one that starts against Liverpool. I think actually most of that team that we saw start is probably going to be what we see. What happened?
I said I think that's our starting 11. I think the only two maybes. Actually, no. Let me scratch that. I think the only maybe is the only two maybes are Gusto and Gallagher. I think those are the only two maybes. I think everyone else starts.
Well, I mean, I agree with you, but also, like, me personally, I want to disagree and say there's a third one. It's Sterling, but I can almost guarantee you he's gonna play regardless.
You think Chukwuemeka starts actually?
No.
I think it's gonna.
He started in the Dortmund game. So
started yesterday. Depends on
I don't think he starts.
I think it depends on the severity of the NKUNKU injury. Because I don't know if you know this guy. You probably do. NKUNKU got hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And so, I think if NKUNKU's fit, I think Poch was testing NKUNKU on the left to see how that would work, and it looked okay. But I could see NKUNKU as a 10, Mudryk on the left, Sterling on the right, and then I could also see that potential pivot of just being Gallagher Enzo, even though I really think it should be Santos Enzo. We'll see what happens with Gusto and James. I don't know if you guys disagree with any of that.
Like with the lineup, I don't think Chukwuemeka's gonna start. Gallagher's a possibility, I think. But I think Reece James starts against Liverpool in whatever position, DM, right back, or whatever. I think he definitely starts. They're definitely two centre backs like Colwill and Thiago definitely starting.
Sure, yeah.
I think Chilwell's definitely starting. Yeah, would you say it's NKUNKU?
I say the only players that are changing are going to be either Sterling, NKUNKU, or Gallagher.
Mudryk's definitely starting. I think Mudryk's definitely starting the game. And if NKUNKU's fit, still for the hopefully he's not injured really, and he's recovered in a week's time now. We've got 9 days I think now, or 8 days, to the Liverpool game. I think NKUNKU maybe still starts, so hopefully I will see the front four really. Jackson, NKUNKU, Mudryk definitely has to start for me. I'm actually liking Mudryk in preseason. I think he showed quite a bit. He scored a cracking goal. Actually, he's looked electric many times. His pace is very unreal. He's so quick.
He's been doing yesterday. What impressed me about him the most is that he was controlling the ball a lot. And I think we saw the stats, right? I think a lot of those dispossessed stats come from the fact that he crossed the ball in and it didn't really lead to anything.
Yeah,
so,
and this link up has been quite impressive with Jackson this whole preseason.
Not even just Jackson, even with Carney.
Yeah,
with Carney and even Chilwell to a certain extent. I think what Scott said, he does a point on this. I'm not sure how how Mudryk and Chilwell are going to work out, because both players like to go deep on their side, and you have Mudryk that likes to go wide. It looks like Mudryk has been cutting more inside, and it looks better when he cuts inside because of the link up he gets.
He cuts inside. That's not the issue. The issue is when he gets the ball out wide. It's not like he comes inside. It's not like he was doing what Maatsen was doing, right, when he was in the Newcastle game, where he was, and in the Brighton game as well. He's coming inside to collect the ball. He's picking the ball up wide and then coming inside with it, where it's the timing of the overlap and the timing of Chilwell's run needs to be on point, because otherwise what Chilwell will end up doing is occupying the same space or having to invert, and he's not good enough on the ball in tight areas to be able to invert, really. Or at least I don't think so. So that's the problem that I think you have. Like those guys have got to be in sync in terms of Chilwell knowing when to overlap, and Mudryk knowing when to come inside and whatnot. Do you know, I could end up seeing. I don't know where he'll play, but I could end up seeing Maatsen playing. Don't know where he'll play. Whether he'll be on the right, in the middle, maybe a left back. But I could see him playing.
I think it's going to be either Sterling or Maatsen. That's my feeling.
Sterling. I think Sterling's definitely starting.
On the right, by the way, not on the left. Yeah. I think Mudryk's kind of going to... I think Mudryk starts on the left.
Yeah. I think Mudryk should start on the left. He looks very good on the left, actually. This Mudryk is probably going to be a bit different. No, definitely different compared to last season. Like, last season, if you go into context, he didn't really get to play in the league for, a good reason why he didn't play. And he's fit into a new team, and our team last season was a disaster, like in many reasons. Like the manager, for like I think the top reason, he was a shit coach. I didn't rate him for a good while. Like he just wasn't a good manager. With Poch, who knows who's actually a good manager, who's done it at Tottenham and done well at PSG as well. I think he's a good coach. I think you do better under Poch for sure. He's got 5 more under Poch. Don't know how good he's going to do, but I think he's definitely going to do a lot better than last season. And we already seen it in pre-season as well. Like he's doing I think he's been one of our best players in pre-season. I think not like top 3 exactly, but he's been like maybe top 6 or something in pre-season for me.
I agree. I don't think there's much else to touch on for this game. I think we wrung this game dry when it comes to the analysis. And again, it wasn't that much of an eventful game. Like I think we just missed a lot of chances. Colwell having 2 clear chances on the far post. Listen, I'm not going to rag on Colwell. Colwell was both of them. I'm not going to rag too hard on Colwell. It's like he's a defender. I don't expect him to have the finishing of a Jackson or any striker in that matter, but oh man, like he missed the first one. Then when he did it again with the second one, I was like, come on, dude. But it is what it is. Like we should have won that game, but unfortunately, like again, football is a game of scoring. You have to score in order to win. So if you don't score the chances you're given, chances are that the other team will. So
thank you.
It is what it is. What happened?
I said thank you, Michael Owen.
You're welcome. But
I was gonna say I'm glad like we did go 1-0 down, but like at least the team did fall back and got a goal at the end. Like at least we didn't go down like
we didn't drop our heads.
Nah, like we came back and scored. Like we came unbeaten this preseason. I'm actually very happy this preseason. I don't think we've done anything like this in preseason in a while. Like gone unbeaten, looking good as well. Like the last 2 seasons and preseasons wasn't too good for us, for sure, as I remember. So I'm happy with this preseason. Yeah,
without a doubt. I'm pretty content with what I'm seeing with the team, and I'm actually content with the result yesterday. I think I didn't want to get too lost with the results either. You know, it's good that we kind of saw some of the deficiencies that we have when we mentioned it earlier with the midfield and Enzo partnership, with Sterling on the wing and the left back situations. There's still some deficiencies to address. Obviously, we'll see what's going to happen with the rest of the squad as well. We have players that are on the hinges. We don't know what's going to happen with their futures. Roja, Ziyech, so on and so forth. So that being said, I don't think there's much else to talk about. So I'll go ahead and call it a stream right here, ladies and gents. So I'm going to go ahead and raid our boy, This Is Football. Over there, he's going to probably be talking about all things, including the Chelsea game. So go ahead, pop over there, send him that raid message, copy and paste it. Make sure he sees it. You know, make sure he knows that we rated him. So go over there, say what's up to what's his name? Hassan, Don Hassan. But yeah, show him some love. And yeah, guys, as always, make sure you are smashing that like button. It does help out the channel. Subscribe so you don't miss out whenever we do go live. Hit the bell notification so you are notified when we are live. You never know when that's going to happen. preemptively. And yeah, go ahead and check out the links below for all of the other content. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about yesterday's match and everything that we discussed in today's video. And be sure to check out the memberships, as there's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. And I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to anyone who is subscribed at our proper casual tier and higher. That's going to be Winter Surfer, OG Turbo Jesus, Dark, Scott, and Adrian. Thank you so much to all you guys for all the support you show us, and thank you to everyone else who's also a member. But yeah, guys, we'll be back again Sunday, as far as I'm aware, to do the Casually Chelsea show, where we're going to talk about all the news in the past week, or most of the news that we haven't talked about in the past week, and have a discussion about it all on that show. So tune in for that, and hit your bell notification in case we go live on Saturday or Sunday or Friday. You never know. Something might happen. I don't know. But yeah, check that out. And also, I will remind you guys, we do have the fantasy football group, the Fantasy Football League, down below. If you want to go ahead and join, it's down there for you to click on and enjoy. And if it doesn't work, let me know so I can try to fix it or something. I don't know. But yeah, the link for fantasy is down below. Go ahead and join us there. But that being said, ladies and gents, I'm off. You have a wonderful night. And as always, stay casual. Peace.